திருப்பாவை முப்பதும் செவினால் வாழியே பெரியார்வார் பெற்றெடுத்த பெண் பிள்ளை வாழியே பெரும்பூதூர் மாமணிக்கு பின்னானால் வாழியே 143 உடைத்தால் வாழியே உயரங்கருக்கே கண்ணி உகந்தளித்தால் வாழியே மனுவாரும் திருவள்ளி வளநாடி வாழியே மண்புதுவை நகர்கோதை மலர்பதங்கள் வாழியே. First couple of over the past 30 days we've been seeing Thiruppāvai. In that we are today on the 21st Pāsuram. I've already covered the meanings of the 3 Thaniyans. However, seeing to the fact that the Thaniyans aren't the only thing that we are chanting. At the end we are also chanting Godepirandavur, Palangal Tirkum Paramadi Kattum, and also this Thiruppāvai Pāsuram Jagatudithalvai. These 3 different extra shlokams, extra Vadi Tirunamams as they are known at the end, Nalpata and Vadi Tirunamams at the end of the chanting Thiruppāvai. Before Thiruppāvai, we see the invocation verses, and afterwards you see this. So I think it will be useful for all of us to know the meanings of those as well. My Acharyan says it is all in the goal of what my Acharyan says, in the fact that even a tape recorder can repeat. There's no point in memorizing all these verses and just being able to spit them out. Even a tape recorder can do that. There's only a point to it when we know the meaning of it and it has some sort of benefit for us, right? And so in that sense, we will look at the meanings of these Pasurams as well. And then further, if we're able to look at Swami Mamanigal has also composed in his Upadesha Ratnamale many verses on Andal. Swami Anantarvan has also composed Goda Chaturshloki. You see, Swami Vedanta Acharya, he is also composed on Goda Stuti on Swami on Andal. You see so many different compositions on Andal. We'll look at as many of those verses as we can, wherever we see that time. But I can guarantee you, we will look at these 3, Godepirandavur, Palangal Tirkum, and this one, Thiruppāvai Pāsuram Jagatudithalvai, which we'll look at today. Thiruppāvai Pāsuram Jagatudithalvai. It refers to Andal's birthday. She was born in Thiruppāvai Pāsuram. This Vadi Tirunam tells us a little bit about Andal's biography, and so that is kind of useful for us, right? I told you guys that before we look at the inside of the book, we always look at the back, or we look at the biography of the author, and then only we go to the book, right? This is the biography at the back of the book. So we'll look at that as well, right? This Andal was born on Thiruppāvai Pāsuram. Adipuram is Adi is the month of Adi. Usually you see it around August time. Puram, she was born in the Puram Nakshatram, that Nakshatram. Thiruppāvai Pāsuram Jagatudithalvai, Thiruppāvai Muppadum Seppinalvai. She sang us the entirety of the Thiruppāvai. That is what she's known for. I don't think I need to explain that. We've been looking at that Thiruppāvai for 30 days, right? For 20 days now. Thiruppāvai Muppadum Seppinalvai, Periyarvar Petredutta Pen Pillai Vazhiye. She's the daughter of Periyarvar or Patavina of the Arivars. You see, Vayar Budattal Peyarvar. Uvarvaisha again Arumar and Sayalakun. Tuya Battanathan, Andal Tuli, Natpan, Natkalian. These are the 11 Arivars plus Andal. So, of those Arivars, she was born to Shri Bhattavinan as she was the daughter of Shri Bhattavinan. The story goes that she was actually found in the garden. The Bhattavinan was Periyarvar. He was making tulasi malas every single day for the Lord, right? He was making garlands for the Lord. During that time, it was seen that he was found in the garden that he was making these garlands for, and so hence he took that girl and he raised her to Andal. So she was seen as the daughter of Periyarvar. Periyarvar Petredutta Pen Pillai Vazhiye. Says Petredutta means he gave birth to. You may ask, first of all, she's adopted child. Second off, he's a man. How did he give birth to this girl? To which he gave birth to the Jnana inside of Andal. If there was any sort of Andal if Andal had any sort of Jnana or any sort of knowledge, any sort of thought of the Lord, it was because of Perumal made him give it through Periyarvar, right? Meimei Perivate Vittu Chitta Kettiruppar Tamma Yugappare Tamugappar Ennum Sol Tammide Puyanal Sadipparayine. Andal says, Meimei Perivate Vittu Chitta Kettiruppar. Everything I say, you can see it in Periyarvar Trimari itself. I am just repeating what my father says. This is what Andal is saying, right? And so that you see that knowledge that she has, that she's giving to us, she got it from பெரியாழ்வார் பெற்றெடுத்த பெண் பிள்ளை வாழியே பெரும்பூதூர் மாமணிக்கு பின்னானால் வாழியே. This is an interesting point. Perumbudur Mamani refers to the one that was born in Sriperumbudur, Swami Ramanuja. She is referred to as Perumbudur Mamaniku Pinnanal Variye. She was born after Ramanuja. She was the younger sister of Ramanuja. To which you ask the question, how is she the younger sister of Ramanuja? Timeline wise also, Andal is before her. Furthermore, you see that Ramanuja also did not have a sister. Maybe is there a Perumbudur Mamani that Periyarvar also gave birth to? No, you don't see such a thing. Perumbudur Mamani refers to Ramanuja alone. So why is she known as Ramanuja's younger sister? In Nachiyar Thirumai, she says, we see Naarinarumpural Maliranjole Nambikki. நான் 100 தடவை வெண்ணை வாயினேந்த பராவை வைத்தேன் 100 தடவை நிறைந்த அக்காரிடத்தில் சொன்னேன் 7 தடவையான் இன்று வந்து இவை கொள்ளுங்களோ இன்று வந்து இத்தனை மவுது செய்தார்கள் நான் 100 மாக்கெடுத்து பின்மாலும் செய்வன் தண்டல் மனம் கமழும் திருமாலிருஞ்சோலை தன்னுள் நின்ற பிறார் அடியேன் மனத்தை வந்து நேர்படியிலே. Andal says, I am going to give you, O Thirumalirunjolai Aragar is seen in Madurai, I am going to give you 100 pots of 100 andas of Akkar Edicil Sonnen. Vennai and Akkar Edicil, I'm promising you this Akkar Edicil. It is a sweet that is usually seen on the 27th day. We will usually that sweet is eaten. It is made out of, you look at that sweet, it's basically payasam more or less. It's just a payasam. It is supposed to be like Chakar Pongal. You see in Sriviliputtur how they make it. They make it throughout the night. They will be making it. It will come down to the texture of palkova. That is the texture that it's supposed to be like a Chakar Pongal. It's supposed to be made out of so much of milk, but because of how they make it, it comes down to the texture of palkova. And it's so sweet. You can see that in Sriviliputtur even today. If you go, you can get that Akkar Edicil that is very special there. It's also special in Srirangam. However, Sriviliputtur makes it better. So in Sriviliputtur Akkar Edicil is, you see that it is at that texture, right? That she promises him that Thirumalirunjolai Aragar, I will make you 100 andas of Akkar Edicil and I'll give you 100 andas of venna as well, the butter as well. You don't see that ever in her life that she did that. Andal sat in her house and then she went and got married in Srirangam. That's about it. There's nothing else you see in her lifetime. So she has said this, to which who fulfilled this promise? Ramanuja fulfilled this promise. He went to Thirumalirunjolai, he went to Aragar and he offered 100 தடாவில் நிறைந்த வாயினேந்த பராவை வைத்தேன் 100 தடாவில் Akkar Edicil சொன்னேன் 7 தடவையான் இன்று வந்து இவை கொள்ளுங்களோ. He was the one that went to Thirumalirunjolai and offered it, just as how the younger sister's wishes are fulfilled by the older brother. Similarly, Swami Ramanuja fulfilled the wishes of Andal, right? And so that is why he's known as Perumbudur Mamanikku Pinnanal Variye. She's known as the one that is born after him because she saw him as her older brother. So that's what you see there. ஒரு 143 இத்தால் வாரியே ஒரு 143 143 Pāsuram she also composed which is known as the Nachiyar Thirumai. 143 Pāsurams extra. You see this 30 Pāsurams known as Thiruppāvai. Afterwards you see Tayura Thingalam Thalavilakki Tan Mandala Vittu Maasimunna Ayyanun Manal Kondu Thiruvanindha Aragana Kalangal Ittananga Deva Uyyo Mangalo என்று சொல்லி உன்னையும் மும்பியும் தொழுதல் ஏதோ தலைமை சக்கரக்கே வேங்கடவர் கென்னை விதி கிற்றி. She composes the next 14 padigams, 14 sets of 10 on other deities, other people, and you will also see other beautiful padigams in there where she imagines getting married to the Lord. வாரணமாயிரம் சூரவலம் செய்து நாடு நம்பி நடக்கின்றான் என்றது புழப்புக்குடம் வைத்து புழமெங்கும் தோழநாட்ட கணாக்கண்டேன் தோழினான். Let me tell you, oh friend, about the dream in which Perumal came and married me. You see so many different things. Karpooram nalumo, kamalappu nalumo, Thiruppāvai செவ்வாய் தான் தித்தித்திருக்குமோ, மறுப்புசித்து மாதவந்தன் வாய்ச்சுவையும் நாற்றமோ, திருப்புற்ற கேட்கின்றேன் சொல்லாய் வெஞ்சங்கே. Oh Shanka, you always have the Shanka in the Lord's hands. He puts in his mouth, it's able to taste his saliva, is it not? She says the specialty of that is, you see, Andal, she provides so many different padigams in this Nachiyar Thirumai, all so beautiful to look at. Each one is a gem on its own. Each Pāsuram is a gem on its own. This Thiruppāvai is not the only gem. That is also the next best gem. Why is that a special gem? We will look at it when I finish this padigam. when I finish this Pāsuram. Thiruvaadi Poorathil Jagatudittal Vaariye, Thiruppāvai Pāsuram Sheppinal Vaariye, Periyarvar Petredutha Penpillai Vaariye, Perumboothul Maamunikku Pinnanal Vaariye, Oru 143 Ittal Vaariye, Uyalarangarukke Kanniyugandalittal Vaariye. She gave her life to Sri Ranganatha. She got married to Ranganatha. We've already seen that story. In the dream of Periyarvar, Sri Ranganatha came and he said that I want to marry your daughter. He sent Andal to Srirangam. She disappeared. She went amongst with Ranganatha. We see her. Perumbooth Maamunikku Pinnana Alvaariye, Oru 143 Ittal Vaariye, Uyalarangarukke Kanniyugandalittal Ittal Vaariye, Varuvarum Thirumalli Varanadi Vaariye. She was born in that town of Shiviliputtur. Vanpuduvai Nagar Kode Marpadangal Vaariye. Andal is known as the most special of those Aivars. Why is she the most special of the Aivars? Swami Mahamanigal also says it in his Upadesha Ratnamali. She's the most special of the Aivars. Why? All the other Aivars were male. That is the specialty she has. She was the only female Aivar. Further, what context does that give us? Even now, when I was saying that Katpuram Narimo, Kamalappu Narimo, Thiruppāvai Chavaidan Tittirikamo, being a person that is a brahmachari boy, I myself was not comfortable with fully explaining the meanings behind that Pāsuram. I feel a little bit of uncomfortableness explaining that. But however, Andal, even in these Pāsurams, you saw in yesterday's Pāsuram as well, some of the words that Andal uses, some of the, for those that know Tamil, some of the lines I'm just like skipping over some of the lines because I myself do not feel comfortable in a public setting as a male to say those things. Whereas Andal, being a female Aivar, was the only person that was open about everything she said. Everything has a metaphor, obviously. Everything is metaphorically shows the true sense of a Jivatma. But she was the only one that did that without any hesitation. That is what Andal's specialty is. She's the only female Aivar. She had no hesitation. All other Aivars had hesitation in some place or the other, they showed hesitation. Andal showed hesitation in not a single place. You see that very clearly in Nachya Thirumai. I do not wish to explain being my situation that I am not an Andal, nor am I a female. So I do not want to describe those her lack of hesitation. So we will look at the specialty of Andal. We will look at this Pāsuram, how it is special with today. Ettra kalangal edirpongi meedalippa maatrade paal soriyum vallal perum pasukal ஆற்ற படைத்தான் மகனே அறிவுராய் ஊற்றமுடையாய் பெரியாய் உலகினில் தோற்றமாய் நின்ற சுடரே துயிலராய் மாற்றாய் உனக்கு வழிதொலைந்து வாசக்கன் ஆற்றாது வந்துன் நடிமணியுமா போலே போற்றியாம் வந்தோ புகழ்ந்தேலோ ரெம்பாவாய். As we saw, Andal is composed these 30 Pāsurams. Thiruppāvai Pāsuram Sheppinal Vaariye. So where are we in these 30 Pāsurams? We are today at the 21st day of Thiruppāvai. We've already covered 20 days. We first saw, usually at the end of every 5 days, I'm giving a summary of the last 5 days. So I will tell you guys, first 5 days, she gave an introduction. Next 10 days, she woke up gopis. We saw as Disney princesses. Now for the last 5 days, she's been playing chess. The first day, she talked about how she was getting past the pawns. She was getting past the guards. The guards are also Yemberiman alone. As I mentioned, the reason I chose the chess analogy is because everything is controlled by one character. One player is the one that is choosing which player moves where. That is why I chose the chess analogy specifically for these 5 Pāsurams. All of them are part under Yemberiman's control alone. That's why we saw first, she got past the pawns, the guards. Next, she looked at the bishops. The bishops are the ones that are closest to the Lord. Those are Nandagopan and Yashoda. What were the Nandagopan and Yashoda known for? Nandagopan was the bishop that went only in the white. He was the one that is Ambarame, Tannire, Shore. He gave us the Ambaram, the white dhoti. He gave us the clothes. Tannire, he gave us the water, which is also clear. Shore, he also gave us the rice, which is also white in color. What did Yashoda give the other bishop? She gave us the one that is that Karumani Kachurar, that black-hued Krishna. That's who she gave us. That's why she's the one in the black, the bishop that travels in the black. We saw these 2 bishops that have given us everything. Who are they giving it through the grace of? The king is the one that is allowing them to give this as well. We should not ever forget that he is the one that is truly giving all of these things, right? He is giving himself, which is peace of mind. He is giving himself and thereby peace of mind for us. Furthermore, he is giving each and every single one of our needs in this world. He is providing, right? That's what we see in these 2 people. They are the ones that are closest to the king and queen. That's why we chose them as the bishops. Afterwards, the next day we saw the queen. Unnavadagal Ettra, Oda the Tolven, Nandagopalan, Madhumagale, Marumagal, Nappinnai, we looked at Nappinnai as the one. Why is Nappinnai the one that is chosen here? Because Krishna had, of all the different queens, I mentioned that day itself, it's like going to Tirupati and saying your son's name being Govinda. You chant out, say Govinda, 100 other people will say Govinda. That's what it's like. Similarly, if you say Marubagale in Vrindavan, everybody will be like, oh, you're talking to me. I'm the daughter-in-law, right? There's 16,108 daughter-in-laws in Vrindavan, right? That's what you see. So why did she choose Nappinnai? Nappinnai was the only one that did not work hard for Krishna to come and get her, right? That is what Arvars always very carefully select their pastimes. You see in the Arvars Prabandham, they will not include any stories that show that we are achieving the Lord on their own. For instance, so many Purana stories, they will say that through this effort, this Rishi attained God. Through this person achieved Lord. Arvars never take those stories. They only take the stories that are fully to the fact that Perumal is the protector. He is the one that is going to come get us. And so in that sense, we go look at Nappinnai's story. Krishna went to Kumbha's house. He was the one that defeated those 7 bulls and he married Nappinnai. And so that is why you see that Nappinnai is mentioned here. So we saw that Nappinnai is also symbolism for his kripa, his love towards us. Thayar, the concept of mother itself, is a symbolism for his love towards us. That's what we saw in that pastor. Next we saw Kuttavilakariya Kottakkal Kattil, we looked at the king. The king in the chessboard doesn't move a lot. However, the king is very important because every single piece is technically acting on behalf of the king. It is the king alone that is acting through every single one of these pieces, is what we see. And so hence, even though we might think that, oh, he's just standing there like a statue, we don't see him, he's not coming here or anything, that is a wrong assumption because every single last thing is also happening due to his grace alone. Yavayum Yavarum Tanai. Arva clearly states that everything is happening, everything that you see. If let's just say the flame is going, or let's just say the camera is running, anything is thanks to, because he is deciding it should happen and it is happening. And so that's what you see is Yavayum Yavarum Tanai. That is what I say. That's what Andal also says here in this pastor. That is why we chose the king for Krishna. Obviously, Krishna is also our king, right? And so that's what you see that. Next day, we saw Muppattu Movar Avaratku Munchante. We saw the rook and saw the horse. Yesterday, I realized after I went home, I completely forgot to mention the rook and the horse at all in our chess analogy. So I will go over why those two are the rook, the Muppattu Movar or the Devas are considered the horse and the rook. You see, the rook in chess is known as the elephant. Who is the king of the Devas? Indra. What is his vehicle? It is the elephant, is it not? That elephant, however, you also see that similarly, the Ashwini Devas, the Ashwini Kumaras, those are also two of the Muppati Mukkoti Devas, or those that are, we see that one of the things that we care a lot about is our health. These are the two that are, the Ashwini Devas are the two that are in control of the health of ours. They are in the shape of the horse. They have a horse head. And so that's why you see the horse and the rook as well. Is that it, Shashank? Is there nothing more? You see, there's another really important thing to note with these two pieces. These two pieces, when they travel, the rook travels, it will go between white and black. White and black. It will be consistently going between the two. It will not be consistent. Similarly, the horse as well, when it's traveling, it will go between black and white, black and white. You do not see this issue with bishops. However, with these two pieces, you see the thing that they are traveling between two different states of black and white. Similarly, the Devas also travel between these two states of ahankara mamakaram and also service of the Lord. You see that clearly in every single story, in which, for instance, with the elephant itself, you take the elephant. Because of the elephant, because Indra is the one on top of the elephant, what happened? Durvasa came to him with a garland that was worn by the Lord. He offered it to Indra. Indra, with his ahankara, to think that he was so great, what did he do? He told the elephant to take that garland and throw it on the ground. That was his ahankara mamakaram. You see that is the black that was in him. What happened afterwards? What did he do? Then afterwards, Durvasa Munivers had given the shabam that, oh, everything that you own will disappear. All your wealth will disappear. You saw the entirety of his samrajyam went and sat in the ocean. Then Krishna had to come and churn the ocean, and then so many things had to come out, right? You see that story. And so what do you see that? Then afterwards, he had the white come back. He had to go and pray to the Lord, please protect me. And so you see that with all these devas, one thing that I mentioned was Jnanam, Shakti, Prapti, Purti. Purti means you have to first be able to take care of yourself before you can take care of another person, right? These devas, when looking, not only the devas, any sort of jivatma, any sort of individual cannot take care of us on their own. In fact, we cannot take care of ourselves on our own, because we are also going from a state of black and white. It's not only the devas, it is also us. All of us, all jivatmas are going through that state of ahankar, mamakar, and then praying to the Lord. And then ahankar, mamakar, we put ourselves in a problem, and then we pray to the Lord again and again, right? And so you see that as well with these people. And so what is the point of this? That the Sarva Rakshakan, the only Rakshakan is Yemberiman alone. You see in a lot of Prabandhams, it is shown that the question is asked, okay, in a Grihastha Grantham, it's asked, is the brother the Rakshakan? No, we look at family members itself. Is the father Rakshakan? Father is not Rakshakan. You see Hiranyakashipu. Who had to protect? You see Krishna was the one that had to come protect. Narasimha had to come and protect. You see, if the mother is Rakshakan, no, Putana came as a mother form. She was also not there to protect. She was there to harm. You see, is the uncle a protector? You see Kamsa himself. You see, is the older brother there the protector? Ravana, Vibhishana, Ravana. You see that he's also not the protector. Every single example, every single people that we think that are going to protect us, it is not that they are the ones that are protect us. Nobody can protect us other than Yemberiman himself. And Yemberiman is acting through all these people and thereby protecting us, is what is seen in our day-to-day. That is what the Yavayum Yavarum Tana refers to. If somebody on their own decides to protect us, it will not happen, because they are also going from the black and white. That's what we see with the devas. That's why they are known as the rook and the horse. With this, I will now go to today's pastime. Today's pastime, now we are going to look at different topics. Today is bottomless buffet. Ettra kalangal edirpongi needalipa. What is this? What is this Ettra kalangal? Ettra kalangal refers to the cows, the lots of cows. They edirpongi needalipa maatade palcharim. Without a limit, they are continuously giving this milk. That itself, the bottomless buffet is given. They are continuously given this milk. Maachade palcharim vallal perum pasakal. They are continuously giving. They are giving in excess. Maachade palcharim, without any hesitation. Pongi meedalipa. It is coming again and again and again. It is overflowing that milk. What is the symbolism of this? You see that also, that Perumal is also like this. When you look at Perumal, what is he known for? There's a verse by Ayva. He has given himself for me without any limit, without us asking. Did we have to go ask the cows, come on, give me this much of milk? They did not ask. The cows on themselves, they gave himself without any sort of expectations. He's giving himself. Is he giving himself in excess though? Is a question that is asked. Of course, he's giving himself in excess. That's what you see with the word Aravumade. Aravumade adiye nodalam. Inbal and baye. Niraya in the Karaya Urukugin and Ermale. Sira Sandal Kavrivisum, Cherni Trikurande, Era Kola Tera Karada contain Emane. This is a word that you cannot see in any Sanskrit literature. It is unique to the Ayvars. That word Aravumade. Aravumade refers to he who is that Amudam, that Amrit, that nectar.
Insatiable nectar.
Yeah, inside is insatiable. It is without limit. It is without limit. It will never be ended. You see with Aravumade. Why? How can you be sure that Perumal is without limit? I will just say that he's Aparyaptamritan. It's the Sanskrit word for Aparyaptamritan. They saw the Ayvar's word and then they afterwards put a translation for that Aparyaptamritan. Aparyaptamritan, he is the one that is without any end. He's continuously giving, just like how these Vallal Perum Pasukal are continuously giving. There's no end to his glories. Is that true? To which Ayvars say that even he does not know his own glories. Mudichodiyai unadu mugachodi malandado. Adichodi neenendra thamarayai alandavo. Padichodi aadirum palgadai nin painpun kadichodi kalandado. Thirumāvai Katture. Ayvar asks, is it your krita? Is it your crown that is showing? It's the light of the crown that is showing itself as the face, or is it the face that is showing itself as the crown? Ayvar has so many confusions when seeing the Lord. He's saying that, wow, I can't tell what is what. To which he says, Thirumāvai Katture, come on, Thirumal, answer. Perumal, you answer my question. To which in the Edu Vyakyanam, Swami Tambille shows that Perumal, he refers to Thirumāvai, you and Tayar, you and Lakshmi, you discuss and let me know. but in the next Pāsuram you don't get any answer. Why? Even he doesn't know the true extent of him. He is not able to say his true extent, how far he goes. Even Perumal is unable to say. And so that's what you see is truly is apariyaptamritan. Edirpongi meedalippa is without end. It truly is bottomless. All his kripa is bottomless. Whatever he gives us, it is without end. You can try digging, you can try getting to the bottom of it. You can never get to the bottom of it. Even he has not gotten to the bottom of it. He is Sarva Akshakan. How can even if he's the one that knows everything? He's a Sarvajnani. He's the greatest of jnanis. He's the one that knows everything. Even he doesn't know. So how are we going to know? Furthermore, a better example for this as well. People often ask, Perumal, does he have people often ask, Perumal, does he have eyes? He's not seeing our suffering. Is he not going to, can he not even give us a drop of his kripa? People often ask that, right? This is the answer to that question. He's always giving his kripa with excess. We just need to look at it that way. Go to India in the villages, there's this thing known as the pump set. The pump set, if you try to bathe in it, it will come in like excess. That water, if you used to showering in showers and you try to go shower in the pump set, it will completely hurt your back, it will bruise you because of how much water is falling on you. That is how his kripa is. It is continuously flowing without an end. Without you cannot understand when it will start, when it will stop. How much is that? It is without end. That is what you see with Perumal as well. He is the bottomless person. Ettra kalangal edirpongi meedalippa maattaade paalchariyum vallat perum pasukkal Attra padaithaan magane. Who owns these pasukkal? You see Nanda Maharaja, he owns these cows. That is what is shown here. He owns these cows and thereby he is giving these things. Truly, who is the one that's owning these cows? Krishna is the one that's owning these cows and thereby ensuring that he is the one that all these cows are given to everybody else. You see that everything that when Ayavars refer to somebody in Krishna's family, Nanda, Gopa, Yashoda, having some sort of qualities, you see in Kulatil Viduyat Tondriya Karumanika Churar. He is the one that is continuously giving that to them so that happens. If it were not for the fact that he chose to come there, they would also end up in a. If he had decided that instead I'm going to go to Devaki and Nanda and his Vasudeva's house, what would have happened? These two would have ended up in jail. He would have come there. It's not because of Devaki and Nanda and Vasudeva would have had the Ettra kalangal. It is because he decided that this happened. It is all due to his thought, his decision that any of these things is happening. Edirpongi meedalippa maattaade paalchariyum vallal perum pasukkal Attra padaithaan magane. He is so great. But yet we refer to him as Magane. I will go back to Magane after we look at Periyai. It will be better if we flip the Pāsuram over for our Anubhavam. Instead of me explaining the meaning of Magane now, if I explain the next slide's meaning and then come back here, it will be more beautiful for us to understand. Magane, Ariyai, Uttamudayai Periyai, Uttam. Uttam can mean he has the interest in always coming to us. But my Acharyan brings up a point. When an ant comes upon us and is running upon us, in Tamil you say, it's like coming upon us, it is running upon us. That is what is meant here. He's always close with us. He's continuously with us is what is shown by that. Uttamudayai, Periyai, he's so great. What is so great about him? To that, I have some different Shastra Vakyams that I've compiled for us to look at. And so with that, because this is a good place to look at Shastra Vakyams. Who is this Brahma? Periyai. Periyai in the Vyakyanam, in the commentary by Periyavachan Pillai, he looks at Periyai refers to that great person, that Brahman. What is that Brahman? Who's that Paramatma? You will look at Narayana. That's what the Narayana. You see the Prajnanam Brahma, Tattvamasi, and Aham Brahmasmi are the three Vakyams that are used as the three of the Mahavakyams. We will look at those Mahavakyams and we will see how Perumal is so great. And it's a Shastra Artham, so it's a little bit high, but I will try to make it easy to understand. It is simply showing Prajnanam Brahma. What does that refer to? It is all his thoughts. His thoughts are what is happening. He is the one that is controlling all the thoughts. Prajnanam Brahma. Brahman is the one that has the Jnanam. That Jnanam, what do you see? Then you also see in Krishna's Bhagavad Gita. I've also mentioned the shloka, the Ayavai Pāsuram contains a Malappum Jnanamum Nanam Drumunandila, Malakkum Sandamare Kandude, Malappari Ennulle Maninantane, Malapano Ilian Manire. I've mentioned that so many times. whenever I mention these pasurams again and again and again, it's true. So that it clicks in your mind. That's why I'm saying it again and again. If otherwise I can keep going and saying more and more Arvar pasurams. Let's have these pasurams click in our mind. To which Arvar in that pasuram, what he says is that I'm forgetting, I'm remembering, I'm forgetting, I'm remembering. He's the one that's making me forget. He's the one that's making me remember about him. That's what you see about Prajnana and Brahma. But you ask the question, this Arvar is saying something. Arvar is just blabbering. You can say that Arvar's pasurams are not pramanam for us. We do not accept what Arvar says. To which Bhagavad Gita has a translation for this exact same Arvar pasuram. Arvar's pasuram is nothing but a translation of a Bhagavad Gita verse, 15.15. So to that you say, Sarvasya chaham hridir sannivishtaha matasmritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarve ahameva vedyaha vedantakrit vedavich with eva chaham. Krishna says in 15.15 in Purushottama Vidya, he says that I am the one that is making you forget. I am the one that is making you remember. So that's what you see with the whole thing of, yesterday I mentioned different types of kartatvam. Nyatritve kartatvam, to think that we are deciding that we are going to worship the Lord, or we are the ones that are thinking that now I'm going to know about the Lord. That is foolishness, is what Krishna is showing here, to think that we are the ones that are thinking of the Lord. He is the one that is putting that thought in our mind and making us think, is what is shown here with this verse by in Bhagavad Gita as well. Such is this control. He is making every single thoughts of ours, every single jnanam of ours is from that Brahman, Prajnanam Brahman. That's what you see. Arvar also says that. Is it just that he is thinking Tattva-tvamasi? He is the only person. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna always mentions he says that I am Arjuna, I am the body, you are the soul. I am the body, you are the limbs. It is I am the soul, you are the limbs. Why is that continuously brought up? Because the shariri bhavam. What is the point of that? The soul is the one that controls our body. Look at the story of Ratatouille, for instance. In Ratatouille, the mouse will come up and will control the entirety of the body. That's exactly what Krishna is doing from inside of us. He's controlling every single one of our actions. And we saw in Ratatouille, he has the thinking on his own. But we looked at Prajnanam Brahma. He's also making us think what we are supposed to think. He's also making us do what we are supposed to do. Tattva-tvamasi. He's the only one. He's the one that is controlling all of our actions. He's the one that you see in everything. If I am deciding to move up my veshti, that is also his control. If I'm deciding to speak now, if I'm deciding what word to put next, that's also in his control. If he decides that next word should be wrong, it will be a wrong word. If he says next word should be, I should struggle a bit, I will struggle a bit. Everything is in his control, is it not? That is what is shown by Tattva-tvamasi. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi, does it mean I am that Brahman? To which, where does this Aham Brahmasmi actually come from? In the Upanishad, it is said that when a Jivatma goes to Vaikuntha, Perumal will ask him, come sit on my lap. And so that Jivatma will come and sit on his lap, and Perumal will look at him and ask him, Kosi, who are you? To which he will say, Aham Brahmasmi. I am your son. Aham Prakara Bhutosmi. Example that is given by my Acharya is, usually we see in the South India, when giving the last name of a child, it is usually the father's name. To refer to the child, you refer to, so let's just say I am son of Madhavan. I am referred to as Siranjeevi, Madhavan's son. I am referred to as Madhavan's son. Am I not? Master Madhavan, Shashank Madhavan. So similarly, that Madhavan is not, it's not that I am Madhavan. It is that I am the son of Madhavan. Madhavan is the one that is inside me and controlling me, is what is seen by that. Aham Prakara Bhutosmi. I am part of you. I am your limbs. Acharya gave that example this morning as well. The limbs, they do not act without in their own way. The limbs act because of the body. The soul thinks what the limbs should do. So hence the limbs do. That is the relationship between the Jiva and Paramatma. Such is the greatness of Perumal. He is the one that's controlling every last thing we see. Periyai. That's how great he is. But now we will go back. Maganai. Krishna, when he lifted up the Govardhana hill, he was asked, Krishna, are you Gandharva? Are you a Deva? Are you something great? Krishna gets so mad. He says that, no, I am none of these things. I am one amongst you. And so that's how, despite being so great, he prefers to be known as Chakravarti Thirumagan. He's known to be a son of Dasarathi. Dasarathi is what he likes to be known as. Similarly, Maganai. He likes to be known as the son of Nanda. He doesn't like to be known as some great person, because then he doesn't want to see that distance between the two of us. He doesn't want us to see that distance. Such is the greatness of the Gopas and Gopis, because they did not see that greatness. We should also not see that greatness, is what is shown here. We should see the greatness. We should understand that he is great, but we should not see him as something distant. We should not look at him as, wow, he's God. I cannot reach him. I'm so far away from him. திருக்கையிலே பிடித்த திவ்யாயுதங்களும் வைத்த அஞ்சலண்ட கையும் கவித்த முடியும் முகமும் ஒருவரும் ஆசன பத்மத்தில அழிந்தன திருவடிகளுமாய் நிற்கிறதே. His feet are on that திருவடி, so easily accessible for us. That's what it's showing. It shows his saulabhyam, his easy access for us. So let's make use of that easy access for us. Let's think about how he's very close with us, how he's controlling everything, and also see that wow, he's doing that for me, is he not? He's making sure everything is happening well for me. He's the bottomless buffet for me, is he not? Not for somebody else, but for me. Is what he's seeing here. He's known as the one that is defeated all the others. It's the light that has defeated all other lights. Shodara refers to that which is the light. That light, as we looked at it before itself. The sun comes, it gives us that light. He is the one that is giving us this jnanam as well. Any of the jnanam from the Presta, the Pāsuram, put it here and say, he is the one that gave it. That is what the meaning is. We don't have time for me to repeat that jnanam again, so that is what you should put that. Come on, wake up. Come sit in my heart. Is what Andal. They've all they are all defeated. These people, they have defeated, and they are coming and sitting at your feet. These people, these demons, what happened to them? They had this ahankara mamakar. You defeated that ahankara mamakar and you brought them to you. Andal says that, she says that, and then just like how they come to you, I am also coming to you. The question is asked, why is Andal saying that she is coming to you just like those are coming to you? They are coming after the removal of ahankara mamakar. Does Andal also have that ahankara mamakar? Go back. He is the one that is deciding that they should have the ignorance. He is the one that is deciding that I should have the jnanam. What is the difference? It's all happening because of his kripa. He is the one that is thinking that this is the way it should be. What that means is we also should not think, we should not have that ahankaram that I am going, this other person isn't going. I am deciding to go to the temple, this other person isn't. I am deciding to think of Perumal, this other person isn't. Because he is the one deciding who thinks and who doesn't think. Within a second, he can make us forget. Within a second, he can make them think. We see that throughout history. We also see that throughout the Puranas. That's what Andal says. So there's no difference between any of us. It's all thanks to his grace. Whatever he wants to happen will happen. That's what you say. We've come to sing your praises. We've come to see how great you are for our own benefit. How you are so great, how you are always protecting us, and thereby, by singing those praises, we also get that peace of mind, is what Andal says with this Pāsuram, and by that, she ends this Pāsuram. Ettra kalangal எதிர்க்கும் கிரிதலிப்ப மாட்டாவே பரிசுலி மனதல் பெரும்பசுக்கள் ஆற்றா படைத்தால் மகனே அறிவுராய் ஊற்றப்படையாய் பெரியாய் உலகினில் தோற்றமாய் நின்ற சுடரே எதிராய் மாற்றாய் உனக்கு வழி தொழில் வாசக்கண் ஆற்றாது வந்து அடிபணியுமா போலே போற்றியாம் உந்தோம் புகழ்ந்தேன் ஒரு empower. With this, tomorrow's title is The Fallen Titans.
So, I quickly, not more than 3 to 4 minutes, I will summarize today's Pāsuram. So, Sri Sailesa Daya Patram, Vibhakti Adigunarno, Hindra Pravanam Mande, Ramyaja Madharapuni. So, this is the invocatory verse of Swami Manamala Mamanikan. And this Pāsuram is also enjoyed as a prayer to Swami Manamala Mamanikan, seeking for his compassion also. So, Ettra kalangal, so it talks about the cows that are giving abundant milk. These cows, the milk is being drunk by the calf, and these calf actually, they are giving even more milk. Here what it refers is Krishna Bhakti, the milk of Krishna Bhakti. So these cows have been petted by Krishna himself. So they were very rich in Krishna Bhakti. And the milk of these cows were drunk by the little calves. And they excelled even more in Krishna Bhakti. We can be seen in Andal itself. So when we say Periyalvar's daughter, she is the one who was raised by Periyalvar. Periyalvar was very much rich in Krishna Bhakti. And Andal received the Bhakti from Periyalvar. and she even excelled Periyalvar in her mood of Mangala Sasanams. So this is also being wonderfully shown by our Acharya. And here this Pasuram is also enjoyed, as we said, by Swami Manavala as a tribute to Swami Manavala Mamunikal. Again, Manavala Mamunikal himself was Bhagavat Ramanujacharya himself reincarnated against as Manavala Mamunikal. And he expanded his compassion. So as Ramanujacharya, he explained all the Vedas and Vedantas, etc. So it is considered like cutting the jungle. Like there was so much of misconceptions. So he appeared as Bhagavat Ramanujacharya Swami, and then he cut all the jungle. After that, the Acharyas later who came, they actually planted the wonderful seeds. And then when it was time for harvesting, again Bhagavat Ramanujacharya himself appeared as Manavala Mamunikal. And the fruit of all this harvest, who is going to enjoy? It is again going to be Lord Ranganatha in the company of Andal. So he took the fruit. What is this fruit? It is nothing but the Ragasyartham. So the Vedas, if you look at the Vedas, it will have various goals. If you want to go to Swargalaga, there are some things in Vedas. If you want Kaivalya, you want to just enjoy yourself, it is called Kaivalya. So just the soul realization, there is also there. But the highest of the highest is actually going to Vaikuntham and in the company of all the devotees enjoying the service. That is the highest of the high. So Bhagavat Ramanujacharya explained and established this, and it was grown by all the acharyas who came after that, like Swami Embar, who was a disciple. He grew it. Then Parashara Bhatta. They were all acharyas who grew this. And then finally it came to Swami Manavala Mamunikal, who actually gave this as a gift to Lord Ranganatha. Lord Ranganatha himself wanted to hear his glory. Just like we have how in the Ramayana, the Lava and Kucha, they did Parayanam of Ramayana in front of Lord Ram. Lord Ram was sitting on the throne. He came down and everybody was so engrossed listening to Ramayana. And then when suddenly they looked, they saw Lord Ram himself was sitting next to them, and he wanted to hear the story. In the same way, the Arulichayam, the Alvars, the Prabandham of the Arulichayam, they also revealed the scriptures. Just like Vedas were revealed to all the Maharishis, Brahma, they are eternal. Vedas are eternal. We are also eternal. And these Arulichayam, the revealed scriptures of Alvars, through Alvars, they are also eternal and very much revered and on par with Alvars. The beauty of Arulichayam is it will talk about the compassionate nature of the Lord. He don't think that he is somewhere high, etc. He is right in front of us in the form of Achamurti, ready to accept our services. It will emphasize more on this compassionate nature, and that is why it is also very much celebrated by our Acharyas. And Krishna himself used to celebrate these Arulichayam to a lot of extent. So, Atma Paditan Mahane Arivurat. Mahane, here it refers to Mahan, but here it can also Mahane. Mamunigal was such a great yogi. Mamunigal we say. So then Utra Mudaya, it means here he went very deep within the Vedas. Again, the Arulichayam, the Divya Prabandham is also like the works of Alvars are also very deep in nature. And within that also he took the cream, that is the Ragasya Trayam. And then he distributed this knowledge of Ragasya Trayam freely to everybody by writing wonderful commentaries like Sri Vachana Bhushanam and Mumukshipadi and Acharya Hridam. These are wonderful commentaries where even simple people like us can understand and appreciate those meanings. So to that extent, he was very compassionate and he gave these words. All the acharyas who came after Manavala Mamunikal, in fact, the Swaminarayan sect, then the ISKCONs, when Hare Krishna, if you see, all their works will trace back to these commentaries that Swami Manavala Mamunikal had given, and through Pundarikal Jiya, that is Vanamamalai, he made sure that it is broadcasted all over the Bharatadesa. And thanks to acharyas who have come later, it is getting broadcast to all over the earth now. Today we are able to receive all these things. It is because of Swami Mukundananda, who wonderfully brought these messages from Bharat, from Kripalu Swami Ramaraj. He is distributing it to all the people who are interested. Here it refers to how Mamunigal incarnated. He was an incarnation of Ramanujacharya Swami, who himself was an incarnation of Anantalva, the Anant Adisesha himself incarnated as Bhagavat Ramanujacharya. And then he reincarnated again as Manavala Mamunikal to give this mercy again and again. And then the beauty of Mamunikal is even those people who opposed him later on became his disciples. People who out of jealousy tried to actually create harm to him. ultimately they also realized his greatness and he became his disciples. And then finally, Potriyam Vandom Muhalderodam Bhava. In this, it is a prayer where we want to show our gratitude to the great Manavala Mamnikan, and it is also requesting him to shower more and more of his mercy as we go forward. With that, we will conclude this Pasuram. Srimati Ramyacha Matra Muni Indraya Mahatmane Sriranga Vasini Bhuyat Nitya Srir Nitya Mangalam.